Good morning. I am Earl Castillo and I'm going to talk about comprehensive waste stream analysis. What is comprehensive waste stream analysis? To understand this, we need to first chop down the phrase. Comprehensive means complete, while waste stream refers to the flow of specific waste from its origin to its destination. With that, we now have a clear vision on what is comprehensive waste stream analysis. It is simply the method used to determine the specific kind of waste that is being dispatched and in what proportion. In simpler terms, it is the method used to know what kind of waste is thrown and how much was thrown. It seeks to answer the five following questions. What is in your community's waste stream? What are the sources of each waste type? How much total waste is being generated? Where is diverted waste sent? And 5. Extended producer responsibility policies. If you focus on question number 2 and 4, you'll understand why it was called comprehensive or complete. Question number 2 focuses on the origin or the source of the waste, while question number 4 focuses on the destination of the waste. Now, what is extended producer responsibility policies? EPR is somehow related to CSR, which is the societal responsibility of the businesses. It's just that EPR is more focused on the environmental aspect. EPR is based on the concept that the polluter pays. Now, who is the polluter? The polluter are the businesses, the manufacturers, and the producers. How will they pay? Well, they don't directly pay for the damages they have caused. The prices of their products integrate environmental costs. These additional costs will be used by the company to basically fix what they have destroyed. They can also be held liable for end-of-life costs. End-of-life, from its phrase, suggests that it is when the product fails to fulfill its purpose already. It's when the product ceases to exist or stops to exist. How will they be held liable for this? Well, businesses will incur expenses for manufactured products that cannot be reused, recycled, or properly disposed. Thus, it is called end-of-life costs. Now, what are the bases in choosing suppliers? It is through the selection of suppliers. First, sources of suppliers. This is not only important for businesses, but also for persons in authority that have the legal rights to order a producer or manufacturer to cease production. First, source of suppliers. Specialized trade directories. Second, assistance of professional bodies or consultant, external help. The buyer's guide or purchase handbook from the buyers themselves or the consumers. The manufacturers or distributors catalog. What do they offer? Advertisements in dailies, daily advertisements. Advertisement in specialized trade journals and trade fair exhibitions, such as expos. So, what is a specialized trade directory? It is also called a business dictionary, which contains significant information about a certain industry, activity, etc. You can also call it a go-to guidebook for businesses. On the contrary, specialized trade journals is also a guidebook. However, it is listed in chronological order. It contains information about interest, trends about certain trades and transactions. What is the next step in selecting suppliers? Second, development of the approved list of suppliers. Third, evaluation and selection of the supplier. Fourth, the cost factors. Fifth, the delivery. Sixth, design and specification factors. Seventh, the legal factors. Were they able to comply to the legal factors, to the laws and regulations? Seventh, the vendor rating. The ratings of the vendors themselves about the suppliers. Next, how are managers able to ensure that their workers are performing to their best extent? It is through ergonomics or human engineering. Human engineers don't technically engineer humans or design humans. They design or engineer the things that humans use to increase the humans' efficiency in working. So, as you can see in the picture, the chair is designed to become adjustable for different table heights. It is also designed to have a 90 degrees position to support the back, which is important for the spine. The eye level and the viewing distance is also considered. The objectives of ergonomics revolves in two things. First, It enhances and ensures that workers perform their tasks efficiently and effectively through the convenience in using machines. Second, it also ensures human safety by improving the quality of life in the workplace. What is just-in-time manufacturing, or JIT? JIT, or just-in-time manufacturing, is a manufacturing strategy that aims to reduce inventory levels and costs by eliminating wastes, take note, wastes, and responding to market needs. The following are the benefits of JIT: reduction in inventory, improved quality, reduced space requirements, shorter lead times, lower production costs, increased productivity, increased machine utilization, and greater flexibility. Now, let's understand why JIT has these benefits. As you can recall, I've said wastes. It aims to reduce waste, but these wastes are not tangible waste, but intangible ones, which bring a palpable effect to the company. These wastes have a acronym that spells TIMWOOD. This refers to waste of transportation, inventory, motion, waiting, overprocessing, overproduction, and defective products. Let's go on it one by one. Waste of transportation arises when there is unnecessary handling and transportation of the product. It takes too much time and effort, which delays production. Second, waste of stocks or inventory emerges when the business has a massive amount of inventory or stock levels. It means that the business is failing to actually sell the products, but just stores them in their warehouses. Third, waste of motion emerges when there is unnecessary movement of the product within the workplace or in the production process. Waste of transportation refers to the unnecessary points of congestion in which the product is being transported, whereas waste of motion is the handling of the product in the production process. For instance, a cake, instead of being produced in just one place, the worker still needs to transport or move the cake from one machine to another. That causes waste of motion. Next, waste of waiting. It emerges when there are points of congestion, traffic, in the production system. For instance, workers are left with nothing but just to wait because the managers is still unable to give the necessary products to continue production. Thus, they just wait and do nothing. Next, waste of overprocessing. It arises when the product undergoes unnecessary processes which takes too much time and effort. For instance, a business decides to add an additional case to phones that they sell or produce. That may be a good marketing strategy. However, the phone cases are unnecessary because it doesn't directly affect the quality of the product that they sell, which is the phone. Additionally, the consumers might not want the phone cases that is being put by the company and might decide to just throw it away. Next, waste of overproduction. Waste of overproduction arises when the quantity of the products produced do not coincide with the products that are demanded. There is a huge amount of surplus by the business which makes the product left unsold. Next, waste of defective products arise when a business produces products with defects. Codification is the process of grouping products according to a certain characteristic such as type by assigning them numbers. Its objectives are bringing all items together since you need to group the items by its characteristic. Enable putting up of any future item in its proper place. When the company decides to produce another product, there will be a predetermined or predestined place for that product. To classify an item according to its characteristics. To give a unique code to each item to avoid duplication and ambiguity. So, codification helps also to reduce confusion in naming items. Instead of naming an item with completely unnecessary and complex words, which makes it too long and confusing, just assigning a code for an item is more convenient. Next, to reveal excessive variety and promote standardization and variety reduction. When the company decides to do codification, it will help them to determine if a certain product has so many varieties. Next, To establish common language for the identification of items, you now have a clear system on how you will name items. Next, to fix essential parameters for specifying an item. Through codes, you will be able to specify or describe a specific product and how it differs from another. Next, to specify items as per national and international standards. Through codes, you will be able to know or specify if an item is for national or international standards. Next, to enable data processing analysis. Data processing analysis is easier through codification because instead of typing too much details, you'll just need to type the code for a specific item. Next, what is value analysis? In its simplest, value analysis is just analyzing the value of the product. It aims to determine unnecessary cost that doesn't affect the quality, appearance, or features of the product. Next, value analysis focuses on engineering, manufacturing, and purchasing attention to produce a product which fulfills its purpose with lower cost. So products are manufactured or designed with the consideration of the price relative to the value that it has. Next, it is concerned with the costs added to the product because of inefficiency or irrelevance. There are items that are too complicated but actually doesn't add up to the value of the product. Value is not fixed and inherited, but a dynamic, changing concept relative to the time and place. It means that the product value changes depending on to where it was produced and when it was produced. What is the value analysis framework or the framework to determine the value of a product? We need to ask these questions. What is the item? Let's say a phone. What does it do? It can call, it can text, can surf the internet, can play videos, and etc. What does it cost? Let's say around 70,000 pesos. What else would do the job? Let's say the product is an iPhone. So the alternative would be an Android phone. What would be the alternative or opportunity cost? This means that the product, which is an iPhone, is priced depending or relative to the prices of the alternative products. Steps in value analysis. First, identifying the function. What's the function of your product? Evaluation of the function by comparison. Where will your product be compared to its alternatives and competitors? Next, develop alternatives. You need to develop alternatives just in case you'll be able to develop a more successful version of the product. Next, brainstorming sessions. It is always important, it is always helpful to do brainstorming sessions because it allows a consideration of ideas from different persons. What is a store? A store is a minor point of exchange between consumers and sellers. Why is it considered as minor? It is because a store, though it is so many, it is large in number, is still a part of a major industry such as clothing, food, or medicine, which is also a part of the greater or the whole corporate world. Despite that, store management is still important and relevant for businesses. The following are the functions of a store. First, to receive raw materials, components, tools, equipment, and other items and account for them. So stores are the one that receives the materials and basically just handle them, account for them, take care of them. Next, to provide adequate and proper storage and preservation to the various items. As I've said earlier, stores have the responsibility to take care and preserve the materials. Third, to meet the demands of the consuming departments by proper issues and account for the consumption. Stores are the points of exchange between consumers and sellers. Thus, they meet the demands of the consuming departments or the consumers and account for the consumption. To minimize obsolescence, surplus, and scrap through proper codification, preservation, and handling. So stores are not only liable or responsible for taking care of the materials but also for codifying them to highlight stock accumulation, discrepancies, and abnormal consumption and effective control measures. Since they are the ones who receive the raw materials, they should also be the one to highlight the stock accumulation. How much stock was stored? How much inventory is there? How about the levels? To ensure good housekeeping so that material handling, preservation, stocking, receipt, and issue can be done adequately. Lastly, to assist in verification and provide supporting information for effective purchase actions. since they are the ones who account for the raw materials and the ones who account for the consumptions that happens. They should also be the one to verify and provide the supporting information to make an effective purchase action or decision. That would be all for my report. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.